Retro Road Test, Ford Sierra XR4x4 vs Audi 90 Quattro. It's caught here. If you like my content and feel able to, please do like it or follow my blogs, Spotify and YouTube channels or Facebook channel. It would mean and help an awful lot. Thank you. A period road test from 1990. There are certain motoring buzzwords that seem to sweep through the industry every few years. In the 1970s it was fuel economy. In the 1980s it was aerodynamic styling, digital dashboards and finding ever more imaginative places to stick red pinstripes. As we arrive in 1990, however, the fashionable phrase is undoubtedly four-wheel drive. Blame the rally drivers. Ever since the sight of Audi Quattros tearing through forests like escaped military hardware, the average company director has become convinced that what he really needs for the M4 is a transmission system capable of traversing the Andes during a blizzard. Manufacturers, never knowingly missing a marketing opportunity, have duly responded. Today we have gathered two of the most interesting examples. From Germany comes the Audi 90 Quattro. Sensible, solid, expensive and engineered with the sort of seriousness normally associated with bridge construction. From Britain comes the Ford Sierra XR4x4, slightly less expensive, considerably more common, and possessing the sort of image that suggests its owner knows at least 3 people called Kev. Both have 6-cylinder engines. Both drive all 4 wheels. Both promise year-round performance and security. Both are aimed at the ambitious middle manager who likes driving but has responsibilities now. The question is simple. Which one deserves a place on your driveway? The contenders. Ford Sierra XR4x4. The Sierra has been with us for almost 8 years now, and despite early criticism for looking like a jelly mold left too close to a radiator, it has become a familiar sight on British roads. By 1990 the XR4x4 sits near the top of the range beneath the fearsome RS Cosworth models. It uses Ford's trusty 2.9-litre Cologne V6, producing 150 bhp and a healthy amount of torque. Power is fed through a Ferguson-developed permanent 4-wheel drive system. Price, approximately £16,000. Specifications: 2,933cc V6, 150 bhp, 170 pound-feet torque, 5-speed manual gearbox, permanent 4-wheel drive, 0-60 miles per hour, around 8.5 seconds. Top speed, approximately 130 miles per hour. Not outrageously fast by performance car standards, but certainly rapid enough to trouble the average hot hatch and embarrass many executive saloons. Audi 90 Quattro. Audi's 90 is the sophisticated cousin of the more familiar Audi 80. It is handsome in an understated German way and possesses all the visual drama of a regional bank manager's briefcase. The Quattro version employs Audi's legendary all-wheel drive system and a smooth 2.3-litre 5-cylinder engine. Price, approximately £19,000. Specifications: 2,309cc inline 5-cylinder, 136 bhp, 137 pound-feet torque, 5-speed manual gearbox, permanent Quattro 4-wheel drive, 0-60 miles per hour, around 9.0 seconds. Top speed, approximately 125 miles per hour. On paper the Ford appears to have the advantage. More power, more torque, better acceleration. But cars are not purchased on paper. If they were, every household would own a spreadsheet. Styling: Ford Sierra XR4x4. The Sierra still looks futuristic. Perhaps not quite as futuristic as it did in 1982, when elderly Cortina owners reportedly crossed themselves upon first sight of one, but it remains a striking machine. The XR4x4 receives alloy wheels, discrete spoilers and subtle body enhancements. Unlike the old three-door XR4i, which looked as though it had been designed by somebody wielding a ruler and a grudge, the five-door XR4x4 is a more mature affair. From some angles it appears sleek and purposeful. From others it resembles a well-fed trout. Still, there is no denying it possesses character. The shape slips through the air with impressive efficiency and even now feels more modern than many rivals. Audi 90 Quattro. If the Ford is extrovert, the Audi is reserved. At first glance it appears almost anonymous. A closer inspection reveals beautifully integrated bumpers, excellent proportions and remarkable attention to detail. Everything fits perfectly. Panel gaps are measured with scientific precision. The paintwork looks deep enough to swim in. It is a car designed by engineers rather than stylists, and all the better for it. The Audi won't attract attention outside a nightclub. The Ford might. Whether that is an advantage depends entirely upon your opinion of nightclub car parks. Winner, Audi. The Sierra is distinctive, but the Audi has aged with remarkable grace. Interior. Ford Sierra XR4x4. Open the door and you find yourself in familiar Ford territory. This is both good and bad. The seating position is comfortable. Visibility is excellent. The controls are logically arranged and easy to operate. The dashboard, however, is largely constructed from plastic. Quite a lot of plastic. Enough plastic to build a modest greenhouse. Nothing feels especially fragile, but compared with the Audi there is a sense that cost accountants were occasionally allowed near the design process. Equipment levels are decent. Electric windows, central locking and a good driving position make daily use straightforward. Rear seat accommodation is generous, and the hatchback design offers excellent practicality. This matters because many XR4x4 owners will spend Monday transporting office furniture and Tuesday pretending they are Arivatainen. Audi 90 Quattro. The Audi's cabin is a masterclass in perceived quality. Every switch operates with a satisfying click. Every surface feels robust. Every control appears capable of surviving direct artillery fire. The dashboard wraps elegantly around the driver and the instruments are crystal clear. The seats deserve special mention. Audi seats from this era are among the finest available at any price. Long journeys disappear effortless beneath you. The rear compartment is slightly less spacious than the Ford's, while the conventional saloon boot lacks the versatility of the Sierra hatchback. Yet everything feels expensive. Because it is. Winner, Audi. The Ford is practical. The Audi is positively architectural. Engine character. This is where things become interesting. Ford Sierra XR4x4. Ford's Cologne V6 is an old friend. It is not especially sophisticated. It lacks multivalve cylinder heads, variable valve timing or any of the fashionable technologies appearing elsewhere. Instead it relies upon a simple philosophy. Large capacity. Plenty of torque. No nonsense. At idle it emits a pleasant burble. Under acceleration it develops a muscular growl. The engine pulls strongly from low revs and feels relaxed in everyday driving. There is little need to thrash it. Simply squeeze the throttle and surf the wave of torque. It suits the character of the car perfectly. Audi 90 Quattro. The Audi's 5-cylinder unit is utterly different. Where the Ford rumbles, the Audi sings. Its distinctive warbling exhaust note is one of the great automotive soundtracks. Not quite a 6-cylinder, not quite a 4-cylinder, it occupies a fascinating middle ground. Performance is respectable rather than thrilling, but the engine loves revs and rewards enthusiastic use. Above 4,000 rpm it develops a wonderful mechanical snarl. One finds oneself changing gear simply to hear it again. Winner, draw. The Ford offers effortless muscle. The Audi provides charm and character. Choose according to taste. Performance. The stopwatch favors the Ford. With an additional 14 bhp and substantially more torque, the Sierra feels noticeably stronger. Acceleration is brisk and overtaking requires little planning. A quick prod of the throttle is usually sufficient. The Audi is certainly not slow but demands more effort. One must use the gearbox more frequently and maintain engine speed to achieve similar progress. In isolation the Audi feels perfectly adequate. Drive the Ford immediately afterwards and it feels slightly subdued. Motorway performance also favors the Sierra. High-speed cruising is effortless and the V6 barely notices gradients. The Audi remains refined but lacks the Ford's easy authority. Winner, Ford. Power still matters. Handling and road holding. Now we arrive at the reason these cars exist. Four-wheel drive. Back in 1990 most family saloons send power exclusively to the rear or front wheels. These two machines distribute it to all four corners. The result is extraordinary grip. Ford Sierra XR4x4. The Ford feels reassuringly balanced. Turn into a corner and the front responds accurately. Apply power early and the four-wheel drive system drags the car through with remarkable composure. There is genuine enjoyment here. The steering provides reasonable feedback and the chassis remains entertaining despite the additional complexity. Push harder and mild understeer eventually appears, but the limits are high and approachable. Most drivers will never discover them. Particularly on wet British roads, the XR4x4 feels invincible. Not actually invincible, of course. Physics still attends every journey. But reassuringly secure. Audi 90 Quattro. The Audi takes security to another level. Grip appears limitless. Rain becomes largely irrelevant. Snow merely decorative. The Quattro system generates astonishing confidence. The car simply goes where it is pointed. However, there is a trade-off. The Audi's handling feels slightly remote compared with the Ford. There is less communication through the controls and less sense of involvement. The driver admires the Audi's competence rather than participating in it. The Sierra feels more playful. The Audi feels more clinical. Winner, Ford. The Audi has more grip. The Ford has more fun. Fun wins. Ride comfort. British roads are not improving. In fact, some appear to have been shelled overnight. How do our contenders cope? The Sierra performs admirably. Its suspension absorbs imperfections effectively while maintaining body control. Long journeys are comfortable and occupants remain largely isolated from the worst road surfaces. The Audi is firmer. Not uncomfortably so, but there is a greater awareness of potholes and ridges. The upside is impressive composure at speed. The downside is that your passengers occasionally become aware of Warwickshire's road maintenance budget. Both perform well. The Ford just edges ahead. Winner, Ford. Refinement. The Audi strikes back. At motorway speeds it feels exceptionally solid. Wind noise is minimal. Mechanical noise is subdued. Everything operates with quiet efficiency. The Sierra is hardly crude, but there are more vibrations, more road noise and more reminders that this is fundamentally a mainstream Ford. The Audi feels engineered to a higher standard. Because it is. Winner, Audi. Running costs. Neither car could reasonably be described as economical. The Sierra typically returns somewhere between 22 and 28 miles per gallon depending upon how frequently you discover empty dual carriageways. The Audi performs slightly better, often achieving close to 30 miles per gallon. Insurance is substantial for both. Servicing costs favor the Ford, thanks to widespread dealer coverage and readily available parts. The Audi's engineering excellence comes at a price. German precision rarely appears on invoices accompanied by the word bargain. Winner, Ford. Reliability and durability. Ford reliability is generally good, but Sierras are beginning to show signs of age-related corrosion in certain areas. Mechanical components are robust, yet hard use can take its toll. The Audi feels built for geological timescales. Doors close with the solidity of bank vaults. Interior materials seem almost indestructible. The Quattro drivetrain has already earned a formidable reputation. Maintenance remains important, but there is a sense that the Audi could comfortably outlive several governments. Winner, Audi. Ownership experience. The Ford attracts attention. People know what it is. Traffic light conversations occur. Young enthusiasts approve. Insurance assessors occasionally take a special interest. The Audi is more discreet. It appeals to professionals who appreciate engineering rather than image. Neighbors may not notice it. Accountants certainly will. The Ford feels like an enthusiast's choice. The Audi feels like an engineer's choice. Both approaches have merit. Verdict. This is closer than expected. The Audi 90 Quattro is unquestionably the more sophisticated machine. Its interior quality is outstanding. Its refinement is exceptional. Its build quality sets standards many rivals cannot approach. If your priorities include durability, engineering excellence and discrete competence, the Audi is deeply impressive. Yet when the roads become interesting, the Ford fights back. The XR4x4 feels more eager, more engaging, more enjoyable. Its V6 engine delivers stronger performance, its chassis offers greater entertainment and its practical hatchback body provides genuine versatility. Most importantly, it possesses personality. The Audi earns admiration. The Ford earns affection. And in 1990, when both are parked outside your house on a damp Sunday morning and the roads ahead are empty, it is the Sierra whose keys you are more likely to reach for. Not because it is objectively better, but because it makes you smile slightly more. That is often enough. Final results. First place, Ford Sierra XR4x4. A wonderfully capable all-weather performance car that combines practicality, pace and genuine driving enjoyment. Not quite as polished as the Audi, but considerably more entertaining. Second place, Audi 90 Quattro. A superbly engineered machine whose quality and security remain deeply impressive. It loses only because it occasionally feels more competent than exciting. In short, the Audi is the car your head buys. The Ford is the car your heart buys. And motoring history suggests the heart usually wins. It's caught here. If you like my content and feel able to, please do like it or follow my blogs, Spotify and YouTube channels or Facebook channel. It would mean and help an awful lot. Thank you. https://korg9000.wordpress.com/